Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Brooks Jackson and I'm the Vice President for Medical Affairs at the University of Iowa, and I also serve as the Tyrone D. Arts Dean of the University of Iowa, Roy J. and Lucille A. Carver College of Medicine. And I'd like to formally welcome the class of 2026 and our distinguished guests to the 28th Annual White Coat Ceremony. I also want to welcome the families and friends of our incoming students who are joining us today in person for the first time since 2019. We are grateful to be celebrating this important milestone with all of you today. This is always a wonderful occasion and a fitting culmination of Orientation Week activities, and we hope it will be a special and memorable occasion for our incoming students. Please join me in a round of applause to welcome our new class of first-year medical students. I'd also like to take the opportunity to recognize the esteemed colleagues who have joined us today. First, I would like to introduce the University of Iowa President, Barbara Wilson. Thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule to join us today to congratulate our students. Next, we have University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics Interim Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Kimberly Hunter. Then we have Dr. Patricia Winokur, Executive Dean and Senior Associate Dean for Clinical and Translational Science in the Carver College of Medicine. Dr. Winokur is also a professor in the Department of Internal Medicine and its Division of Infectious Diseases. And next to Dr. Winokur is Dr. Chris Cooper, a Senior Associate Dean for Medical Education, the Carver College of Medicine, and a professor in the Department of Urology. Today's keynote speaker is next, Dr. Henry Hoffman, who is a professor in the Department of Otolaryngology. And finally, at my far right is Dr. Scott Trular, radiologist and president of the Iowa Medical Society, the statewide professional association for Iowa's physicians. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the University of Iowa President, Barbara Wilson. Barbara, before coming to Iowa, served as Executive Vice President and Vice President for Academic Affairs for the University of Illinois System. President Wilson was a member of the Illinois faculty for 21 years, and she was highly regarded for her teaching, her administrative leadership, and her research, which focuses on the social and psychological effects of the media, particularly on young people. She is the co-author or co-editor of 4 books and more than 80 research articles, book chapters, and technical reports. President Wilson earned a bachelor's degree in journalism and master's and PhD degrees in communication arts from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. We are honored and proud to have her as a member of the University of Iowa community. Please give a warm welcome to the University of Iowa President Barbara Wilson.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be here, so delighted to be part of this special event, so excited that I actually channeled all of you this morning and wore a white jacket. So I wanted you to, nothing like what you're going to be wearing, but it was as good as I had. So really happy to be here. As Dr. Jackson said, last year we were here all together, but all of our families and our relatives and our friends had to be outside because of COVID. And this is special to welcome everyone back into Hampshire to be part of this special event. And to all of you in this year's class, I'm so proud of you. We're so excited to welcome you here to the University of Iowa. You're going to make a huge difference. You're going to make a huge difference in our classrooms, in our clinical training, and in our research across our big healthcare enterprise here. And I want you to know that you're going to have the full support of the University of Iowa while you're here. We want to make sure that you're successful, that you learn as much as possible and that you make a huge impact on this year's class, but also on our whole medical enterprise, and we know you will. We've got incredible offerings across the university and so many things to do in this community, but you're going to be kind of busy, so you may not get to do all of the things that are available to you. But I really want to emphasize taking care of yourself. We are spending a lot of time at the University of Iowa talking about mental health and wellness, taking care of yourself, listening to your bodies, thinking about your mind, and thinking about what you need in order to bring your whole self to this incredible medical training that you're about to embark on. So remember, you can't help others until you take care of yourself. So if there's one message from me, it's make sure you stay healthy while you're on this journey. And to all of the families and friends and partners and maybe even some children in the audience, thank you. Thanks for offering up your relative to this great journey. I know you're going to be a big part of the support system that ensures that these students are successful. We're grateful that you trust us, and we promise that we will deliver a great medical education to all of these students. So thank you, everyone. I'm delighted to be here, and I'm excited to shake some hands. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. All right, there you go. All right. Best class ever. So it's my pleasure to be here today. If you shoot me from behind, I look like I've got more hair, but just I appreciate all the faculty, staff, student, friends, and family members who are here to share this very special occasion. As Senior Associate Dean for Medical Education, it's my job to help select the students who will attend the Carver College of Medicine, and I am pleased to note that the class of 2026 is truly an exceptional group. As a graduate of this college, I speak from firsthand experience when I tell you that this is a great medical school with excellent educational opportunities for growth both inside and outside of the classroom. One of the truly great things about Iowa is its people. And you will find that the Carver College of Medicine faculty and staff really care about your experience. There also is an unparalleled spirit of collaboration among students as well as faculty, and that makes for an outstanding learning environment. I know that as the college's newest students, you will strengthen and carry on that tradition here and wherever you go. Now it is my great privilege to introduce the keynote speaker for the 2022 White Coat Ceremony, Dr. Henry Hoffman, professor in the Department of Otolaryngology and Radiation Oncology. Dr. Hoffman earned his medical degree at the University of California, San Diego, and underwent residency training in general surgery at La Crosse Lutheran Hospital in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and then in head and neck surgery here at the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. He completed several fellowships, overachiever, in facial plastics and reconstructive surgery and in head and neck surgery at the University of Michigan. Everybody's got to have a flaw. So, Dr. Hoffman was previously an assistant adjunct professor at the University of California, San Diego, before he joined the Carver College of Medicine in 1990. He is now director of the Voice Clinic in the Department of Otolaryngology. Dr. Hoffman studies pathology and treatment of vocal disorders and cancers of the head and neck. He has served as editor of the Iowa Head and Neck Protocol since 1992, in addition to being a prolific contributor to research publications over the course of his career. Dr. Hoffman's dedication to his students was awarded with the Otolaryngology Department's Barry Anson Teacher of the Year Award in 1992, 1999, 2001, and 2014. Clinically, his work is recognized with certification by the American Board of Otolaryngology and the Iowa Board of Medical Examiners. He holds the patent to a surgical device called the arytenoid repositioning device, which is a minimally invasive surgical intervention in the larynx. In his 32 years of service to our institution, he has become a leader in medical education, research, and most importantly, patient care. In fact, it is his true care for the patients and remarkable patient interactions and bedside manner that actually make him legendary at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. He serves as a role model not only for trainees, but for faculty throughout our institution. I can think of no one better to deliver this year's keynote address, and I'm really delighted to be introducing you to Dr. Henry Hoffman. So please join me in welcoming him.
Wow, I wish my mother was here. That was terrific. So I'd like to welcome and congratulate the class of 2026. I guess that's for most of you. Some of you will be taking the John Belushi plan, taking a few extra years to go through. So you're all smart, but smart is not what makes you special. It's your work ethic and your drive to succeed, and your presence here really documents remarkable success in college. So you are the best and the brightest, ready for a career permitting you to live at the point of intensity. One of my favorite quotes from Teddy Roosevelt is, "Far and away the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing," and you have that prize. Although some of you may be here despite your parents' influence, I suspect that many of you are here due, at least in part, to the support of your parents, friends, or family. And I'd like to recognize that support. So how about an applause for the parents and the friends that made it possible for you to be here. So my parents were supportive, but they didn't tell me the truth. They told me many times I could be anything I wanted to be, and I desperately wanted to be a professional basketball player. Jerry West of the Los Angeles Lakers was my hero, so at that time my second choice was to go into medicine. And after playing for 4 years in college and not having a pro basketball career ahead of me, I was glad to have a backup plan. So I went to medical school. So my first day in medical school at the University of California in San Diego was great. We spent a day in orientation, which we were told multiple times how good we were. And at the end of the day, our class of 90 students walked across campus to have wine and cheese with Dr. Jonas Salk and his wife overlooking the Pacific Ocean in La Jolla. So most of you know Jonas Salk as the miracle worker who developed the first vaccine for polio. And he became famous as a true medical hero, just as many individuals that you will meet here at the University of Iowa have become famous. So some examples of University of Iowa physicians who were thrust into national prominence by the COVID epidemic, really not because they sought fame, but rather because they worked to address their passion, include doctors such as Dr. Stanley Perlman, who began studying the coronavirus 40 years ago. And here on the stage, Dr. Pat Winokur, who has been running vaccine trials for many years, including the COVID Pfizer trial at the University of Iowa. She alerted me to the fact that it actually worked. What a great day that was. Thank you, Pat. And Dr. Dan Diekema, somebody you will probably meet, a clinically active infectious disease expert who is frequently interviewed in the news. So although the term hero may have received a bit too much use in the medical field with COVID, it's a term that will still be used by admiring patients who recognize the effort and intelligence that otherwise unheralded nurses and doctors put forth to make them better. So you too will be heroic. Maybe awesome is a better word in the eyes of many for whom you care. So after meeting Jonas Salk on my first day of medical school, I anticipated it would be all downhill for the rest of my training. But boy, was I wrong. Each day in med school got better and better until the best thing happened during the third year when we formed teams, not unlike basketball. And as a team became responsible for the care of patients as we made rounds as a group throughout the hospital. Learning about how the body works and how disease affects it was great, but even better was taking care of people and feeling like I was making a difference. It made basketball seem not so important, although similarities were still there. Before a game, I would have prepared with our team, gotten a little nervous, put on a uniform, and performed with the team, with clear evidence after the game if we had succeeded. So surgery really is about the same. You get a little nervous preparing with your team of nurses, residents, anesthesiologists, and others. You put on a uniform, scrubs, masks, and gloves, and a performance, with the only certainty being that the outcome depended on your performance. So I teach, or I guess the word facilitate is really a more correct term, in the first-year medical student class that you'll be starting soon called case-based learning. After my first experience with the class, I told the students that I was a little jealous. Although I thought my med school was good, there was not a single class I took in the first 2 years at UCSD that could match the quality of the case-based learning class that I took. So congratulations on choosing a great medical school. Yeah. It doesn't say applause on my script here, but that was good. So here's my opportunity to give some advice which centers around making friends. Your career in medicine and life in general will be easier and more fun if you do two things focused on making friends. So this is what's worked for me. The first is to make your patient your friend. It won't always happen and may not always be appropriate, but if you put out the effort, I think you'll be rewarded. As a general philosophy, I think it works. I particularly hear these words from a patient, which I actually heard just within the past week. They say, "What would you suggest for me if I were your mother or your sister or relative?" And then I tell them I treat all my patients like their family, and then I say the words, "Welcome to the family." Other words that also work, and that's if you mean them, are to say out loud to your patient, "I am your advocate." And you can supplement it, if it's true, by saying, "I will do anything you ask that seems reasonable to me. And if it doesn't sound reasonable, I'll discuss it with you and can even refer you to another doctor to consider it." The second addresses the business of medicine, and that's how to make your administrator, CEO, CFO, or other director your friend. And it helps to know two definitions. And the first one is fiscal responsibility. So fiscal responsibility is defined as the act of creating, optimizing, and maintaining a balanced budget, and it goes on and uses the word fiduciary, which I don't understand. The second definition that you need to know is RVU, or relative value unit. So RVUs have to do with medical billing. It's a number that defines the volume of work doctors perform when treating patients so the institution can be reimbursed or the doctors can be. So when you're speaking with someone in administration, throw out the term fiscal responsibility and you'll be rewarded with a smile. Use it a couple times in your conversation with them, and you might throw in the word fiduciary. You don't have to know what it means. And they will be absolutely beaming. You most definitely should not say to them that which you may be thinking. And what you may be thinking, or maybe you should be thinking, is, "I don't care much for RVUs. I signed up to take care of people, and that's my passion, not becoming an RVU expert." Don't say that. So in your conversations with your administrators, as you're having negative thoughts about RVUs, don't reveal that thought. Instead, nod and say in a conspiring tone, "Fiscal responsibility." So in keeping with those thoughts about relative values, I'd like to end with a quote from the CEO of the American Academy of Otolaryngology, who is an otolaryngologist, but also had background in business and finance. He discussed values, not RVUs, not relative values, but actually core values. So this quote from David Nielsen hangs in my office where it's been there for about 25 years. Here's his quote. He says, "Money is rarely, if ever, a core value. Money is rarely, if ever, a core value. Rather, it is substituted for professional success, happiness, security, peace, or some other valued characteristic, often at the expense of another value such as honesty or family time." So it was really 4 years short of a half century ago, I was sitting where you are, about to start medical school. And my hope for you is that 50 years from now, you will feel as I do now. And that is, I love what I do as a doctor. I love what I have done as a doctor, and I loved becoming a doctor. Being a doctor is a much better gig than being a basketball player. So welcome and congratulations to the class of 2026, University of Iowa School of Medicine, And special additional congratulations to your parents and supportive family and friends.
Thank you, Dr. Hoffman. That was terrific. As a token of our gratitude and to commemorate your participation as keynote speaker today, I'd like to present to you this clock engraved with your name. So, thank you. That was awesome. Please go ahead. Now let's turn our attention to the white coat, a powerful symbol to both the medical profession and society at large. The way physicians dress has been an important part of medical practice since ancient times. In fact, Hippocrates advised doctors on how they should dress, saying, "The healer's uniform should imply a professional interest and interaction. It must convey to even the most anxious patient or physician a seriousness of purpose that helps provide reassurance and confidence that medical concerns will be dealt with competently and conscientiously." Students, the white coat symbolizes your transformation to becoming a physician. It is a cloak of compassion and dedication to your fellow human beings. May it also serve as a reminder of your commitment to your education and to your chosen profession. Today, we will introduce the students by membership in their learning community, The Carver College of Medicine learning communities are designed to allow students to support one another and provide more opportunities for leadership and service. Learning activities occur across all 4 years of the curriculum. The communities also help strengthen relationships between students and faculty, collegiate staff, and individuals in our local community. Each medical student has been randomly assigned to one of 4 learning communities. The faculty directors of each community will now introduce their students for the presentation of white coats. We will begin with Dr. Michael Hogsdahl and Paul Van Hoekelum, who represent the Bean Learning Community. As they read the names, Executive Dean Winokur and I will bestow the white coats, and Dean Jackson, President Wilson, and Drs. Trular, Hunter, and Hoffman will offer their congratulations. Dr. Hogsdahl and Van Hoekelum.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. Along with Dr. Paul Van Hoekelum, it is my privilege to represent the William Bean Learning Community today. The Bean Learning Community name pays tribute to a prominent physician whose legacy is still very evident in the Carver College of Medicine. Dr. William Bean served as the Carver College of Medicine's chairman of the Department of Internal Medicine from 1948 to 1971, and during that time, he built a great academic enterprise that encouraged excellence in patient care, in teaching, and research. He was noted for boundless curiosity and a genuine love of learning. His leadership style encouraged and even inspired young faculty to greater heights of achievement than most dared to dream they would attain. This afternoon, it is my pleasure to introduce each of the new members of the William Bean Learning Community as they receive their white coat. Actually, Paul's going to do that. So.
Alyssa Bartles. Emma Beckler. Oh, sorry. I'll do it again. Emma Beckler. Savannah Bogner. Jason Bonner. Kristen Lynn Davis. Bridget Eastler. Ashlyn Franzen. Annie Galloway. Gabrielle Gray. Brian Gu. Austin Halupnik. Rachel Heinrich. Erica Shu. Brianna Iverson. Olivia Jenks. Jenna Johnson. Andreas Kantarsis. Andrew Lee. David Lee. Kamia Madahi. Thomas Martinez. Stephanie Aurora Meza. Megan Mooberry. Hannah O'Neill. Julian Pablo. Emma Phelps. Apurva Raikwar. Simran Serene. Nathan Schwery. Noah Scigliano. Isaac Slagle. Aditya Somasetti. You practiced. Leon Sun. Ian Sutton. Irvini Tabakovic. Irvina. There it is. Irvina. Eric Vollen. Luke Zerwick. Jimmy Zane. All right, next from Boulware Community, I'd like to welcome Dr. Benjamin Rankin and Katie Iverson.
Along with my colleague Katie Iverson, it's our pleasure to introduce you to the students who are sorted into the Boulware Learning Community. Our learning community pays tribute to Dr. Lois Boulware. Dr. Boulware grew up on a farm, was a first-generation college student, and worked her way through college during the Great Depression. After completing her training, she worked as Assistant Director of Student Health Services for 40 years, and after a brief attempt at retirement, returned to the university to establish the first patient advocacy program in the nation. Giving patients a voice in their medical care was a revolutionary idea in the 1970s. The changes that resulted from Dr. Boulware's efforts included introducing interpreters for non-English speaking patients, developing what is now known as the UIHC volunteer program, and establishing a day of surgery lounge for family members to wait while their loved ones underwent surgery. Dr. Boulware's accomplishments did not bring her fame or fortune or academic accolades. Rather, she was driven by her work ethic, love of learning, and dedication to her patients, all traits we hope to foster in our Boulware community members.
Okay, so now's the best time of the year. Our new Boulware Bears, we're going to start with Emily Baldwin. And Matthew Beeger. Shalini Barari. Chase Brandt. Joshua Cheek. Abigail Davison. Olivia DeJoya. Adriana Ehlers. Yuming Engelking. Ryan Gannon. Trent Gilbert. Jeffrey Goddard. Akansh Gupta. Samuel Hatfield. Ines Hitchashmaz. Gretchen Jones. Cameron Keomanivong. Catherine McDonald. William Moody. Sana Munir. Catherine Nugent. Ikenna Wosu. Francis Scott Ogabon. Lucy Olson. John Pape. Avery Pazur. Maddie Peters. Ashrita Raghuram. Olivia Reed. Zachary Ringking. Arshak Salim. Sierra Sheets. Sadie Solomon. Aline T. Young Money. Stephen Van Matron. Elena Wolfson. David Whaley. Hayan Yoon. It's now my pleasure to introduce Doctors Swanson and DeGeeter, who will introduce the Phlox Learning Community.
Reuben Phlox started his urology residency in 1931 at the University of Iowa Hospitals. He stayed on as faculty and quickly rose to become the urology department chair in 1949 and held that position for a quarter century. He was a recognized world leader in the research of bladder and prostate cancer. He was an early adopter of nuclear medicine and published dozens of papers on brachytherapy using radioactive gold. Dr. Phlox was an incredibly dedicated physician. His work ethic was legendary. He published over 150 articles, and exemplary patient service was very important to him. He not only led his department, but held many leadership positions at the state and national level, including president of the Iowa Medical Society, American Board of Urology, and American Urological Association. The University of Iowa Hospital Clinic is named the Reuben Phlox Urology Clinic in his honor. I took care of a patient a few years ago that Dr. Phlox had cared for as a child. The patient was excited to hear of my connection with Phlox and explained that Dr. Phlox was his favorite doctor despite it being 60 years prior when Phlox had operated on him. He especially remembered Dr. Phlox holding his hand as he was wheeled down the hall to the operating room for an emergency surgery. The patient vividly remembered how comforting that was and how Dr. Phlox had a reassuring smile not only at that stressful time, but every time he saw him. Just this Monday, I met a patient that reminded me of Phlox. He was a 79-year-old physician. Some of the commonalities he trained, his residency was at Iowa in the time of the General Hospital with the entrance below the Gothic towers. And at 79, he's still passionate about his work as a physician. His wife's hoping he takes some vacation sometime, but he does have that kind of Phlox work ethic. I just want to say, just as Dr. Hoffman had talked about, I wish you the best of luck in finding something that you're passionate about in your future for many, many years to come.
All right, I'm excited to introduce our new Phlox stars. Trevor Allen. Ethan Engel. Evan Balk. Kyle Burst. Madison Brewster. Asta Chandra. Irving Delgado Arenas. Lubin Den. Mark Dyken. Daniel Galvez. Grace Gasser. Stephanie Gibbons. Claudia Golubievsky. Amy Huang. Kevin Cato. Aditi Katwala. Christopher Classen. Brittany Kuntz. Jace Leininger. Darby Modernock. Mallory Martins. Elizabeth Martin. Emery McManaman. Daniel Moe.
Hey, Daniel, how's it going?
Kathy Nguyen.
Hey, Kathy.
Linda Peng. Wade Pingle. Faith Prohaska. Madeline Romberg. Nathan Robillard. Alexander Siverud. Madeline Ungs. Cameron Vanoy. Natalie Voss. Hassan Wawarich. Ryan Williams. We also have two students who were unable to be with us today who I would like to announce, Addison Rosa and Catherine Weston. I'd now like to introduce Drs. AJ Patel and Dr. Terry Thompson from the McCowan community.
Hello, Dr. Gina McCowan is the namesake of the McCowan Learning Community. She was one of the first women to graduate from what was then known as the University of Iowa Medical Department. And she graduated from medical school at a time when medical schools did not accept women. She received her MD in 1876. She was a widely respected and active leader in state and national professional organizations, and was a founder of the Iowa State Society of Medical Women. In addition, she promoted numerous projects supporting women, children, and institutionalized persons. The McCowan Learning Community continues with this commitment to community service with their support of the mission of the Domestic Violence Intervention Program, among other projects. And now AJ will welcome the newest members of the McCowan Learning Community.
It's my great pleasure to introduce them, starting with Mariam Ahmad. Hind Al-Kayani. Kayla Bean. Matthew Benson. Seth Borchard. Kate Choate. Janelle Cobbler. Azarel Kaus. Madison Dunkley. Jackson Dunning. Christopher Franke. Jian Gao. Noah Gritters. Alexandria Groneveld. Samuel Hansen. Devin Heinrichs. Bailey Jackson. Victor Kilonzo. Andrew Knight. Ostap Kuhar. Nathan Lindsay. Abigail Lund. Johnny Malakote. Dominique Mata de Leon. Nicole McPhillips. Eric Ortiz. Spencer Peterson. Irene Petros. Grant Podysky. Christina Ross Miller. Kara Ruschenberg. Joshua Russell. Saim Salahuddin. Isabel von Schwob. Mackenzie Temperley. Jaden Troxel. Sophia Siao. And rounding out our awesome McCowanites, we got Richie Zhang.
There is perhaps no greater social duty than the one a physician accepts. Physicians hold a unique knowledge that requires years of patient study and a constant desire for continued education. Members of the class of 2026, when you decided to become a physician, you made a promise to practice the art and science of medicine faithfully and truthfully. You have agreed to accept the duty of helping your fellow human beings. This is not a promise to be taken lightly. Whether we make a difference one patient at a time or through research and discovery that will help scores of people, we must always remember that promise. The Hippocratic Oath, named for Hippocrates, the ancient Greek physician and father of modern medicine, was created to emphasize the promise you have made. Our college has been celebrating this oath since our first white coat ceremony in 1994. To our students, I urge you to think about the true meaning of this oath as you join me in making this pledge. Students, please now stand and then also turn and face the audience and join me in reciting the Hippocratic Oath. I do solemnly swear by that which I hold most sacred, that I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to all, that I will lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor, that into whatsoever house I shall enter, It shall be for the good of the sick to the utmost of my power. I, holding myself aloof from wrong, from corruption, and from the temptation of others to vice, that I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my patients and will give no drug, perform no operation for a criminal purpose, even if solicited, and far less suggest such a thing. That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of others, which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep inviolably secret. These things I do promise, and in proportion as I am faithful to this, my oath, my happiness, and good repute be ever mine, the opposite if I shall be forsworn. Students, please be seated. And this concludes our ceremony, and I want to thank you for joining us today, and have a good afternoon and a pleasant weekend. But before we depart here, I do want to put in a plug for the Black and Gold Mile Run event, September 25th at 8 a.m. That we had 300 students run this, and everyone gets a small scholarship applied to your tuition, and it's good for your health as well. So I hope you do that. We hope to have maybe 400 or 500 this year, so it'll be great to be out there down at Kretzmeyer Track. So again, thank you very much, and we'll see you out in the lobby.